In boxing, we often hear sparring stories. Sometimes it's a rumor of an elite world champion getting knocked out or beaten up by a journeyman in the gym. Most casual fans dismiss these types of stories. They assume it's all made up, but the reality is, it happens all the time. Lennox Lewis apparently got dropped by Gary Lane and Ross Purity in the gym. Vitaly Klitschko was rumored to have been dropped by Freza Kendo in sparring. Sometimes it's a situation where the champ has just done 8 hard rounds, so he's tired, and they throw a fresh guy in with him for the final 4 rounds of the sparring session. But other times, it's a case of a sparring partner being a great gym fighter. Gym fighters are guys who perform to an elite level in sparring, but they just can't translate that type of form to their pro fights. They freeze under the bright lights. It's stage fright, basically. In a recent episode of his podcast, Mike Tyson spoke about one of his sparring partners back in the days called Wayne Maurice, who used to beat him up in the gym. In one camp, he said the guy beat him up for 3 months straight. I tried to look him up on BoxRec because I've never heard of the guy, but I couldn't find any trace of him. I'm not sure if Mike actually meant Maurice Harris, because he was a notoriously good gym fighter in the 1990s who, again, couldn't cut it in an actual fight. Mike Tyson was an absolute menace in his prime. So when you heard stories of him knocking out sparring partners, it was no big deal. It's what you expected. But what did raise an eyebrow was when you heard stories of people getting the better of him and dropping him in the gym. Steve Lott was a member of Team Tyson in the early days. He had a YouTube channel called Boxing Hall of Fame Las Vegas, and it had dozens of exclusive Mike Tyson training videos on it, including complete, unedited sparring sessions. Unfortunately, Lott died a couple years ago, and for some reason, his channel was subsequently deleted. But among the videos I watched on there were several sparring sessions between Mike Tyson and Jesse Ferguson. Now, Ferguson fought Tyson early on in Mike's career. He actually lost by disqualification, but the result was later changed to a TKO loss in order to preserve Tyson's unbroken knockout streak at the time. Tyson hired Ferguson as a sparring partner thereafter. And unlike in their pro fight, Ferguson actually got the better of Tyson in several of the sparring sessions I saw. And again, these were not short clips. These were full, unedited videos. And Ferguson was giving Tyson the business. He looked far better in those sessions than I ever saw him look in any of his pro fights. He was the quintessential gym fighter. Mike Tyson was also dropped in sparring by Oliver McCall in the run-up to the Tony Tubbs fight. He was dropped another time by Greg Page in the run-up to the Buster Douglas fight. There's actually a video of that on YouTube. And according to Glenn McCrory, who was a sparring partner of Tyson as well, Patrick Lumumba was giving Tyson the business in sparring. Bear in mind, Lumumba was a cruiserweight, and a small cruiserweight at that. But strange things happen in the gym. Stuff that you wouldn't believe. Some fighters are the opposite of gym fighters. They struggle to produce top form in sparring, but always manage to produce it on fight night. Some fighters need the energy of the crowd, the rush of adrenaline that you get under the bright lights in order to perform. And you can't get that in the gym. Anyway, some food for thought.